What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I've got this 2022 Ram 2500 Laramie Night Edition. Right before we jump into this Laramie Night Edition, if you haven't already and if you are enjoying these videos, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it does help out the channel and it also helps with the YouTube algorithm. With that being said, let's jump right into this Laramie Night Edition, and we'll start off with what trims you can get. So when it comes to the Ram 2500s, it's pretty much the same trims you can get as you do on the Ram 1500s. You can get the Tradesman, Bighorn, Laramie, which you're looking at right now, Limited Longhorn, Limited, or the Power Wagon. When it comes to this particular Laramie Night Edition, in terms of the standard safety features, you're going to be getting your park scent, front and rear park assist, and you can get an upgraded package to get more safety features. This particular one has the towing technology group B, which is going to give you your surround view camera system and your trailer reverse guidance. Now keep in mind, some of the packages that I do mention for this particular Laramie Night Edition may not be available at this moment if you are building out a fresh unit, or some of the names may have changed. Starting things off in front of this Laramie Night Edition, let's say you did not get the Night Edition package. Standard will be your chrome front bumper and your rear bumper, and even your grille will be in the chrome bright accents, and also around your grille it'll be body color, so if you get a different color, obviously it would be matched as that. However, because this one has obviously the Night Edition package, and you can't really tell on this black color, but if you got a different color, that will automatically give you the body color bumpers. You also get your whole grille badging blacked out, and even your front headlights will have kind of like this black bezeling compared to a normal Laramie. Your headlights will also be LED, of course, and these are very unique looking headlights, as they make the truck look a little bit more aggressive if it wasn't already all blacked out. If we start off at the bottom, you can see, like I mentioned, it has the front sensors, and this Laramie also has the optional protection group, which you see here, your front tow hooks, and of course you've got your front fog lights, which are LED. Also, if you look closely under the Ram lettering, you also have your forward facing camera. Also, an upgraded feature on this truck are your clearance lamps up top. Coming to the side of the Laramie Night Edition, starting with your side mirrors. On a normal Laramie, these would be your bright chrome side mirrors, of course, but they'll still be your tow mirrors and power folding. Also, on these side mirrors, you will have your built-in cameras, which is part of your surround view camera system. You'll also get your door handles, which will be body color, and then of course all your badging around the whole truck will be blacked out. And as you can see, also you've got the 2500 heavy duty badging on the hood there on both sides, and then you also have your Hemi 6.4 liter badging as well. Another extra option that this truck has are your power running boards. These are amazing to have because they tuck away and just don't even take up that much room. As for your beautiful wheels, typically standard on the Laramie, you are going to be getting your 18-inch polished aluminum wheels. However, if you opt in for the Night Edition, they will become 20-inch black aluminum wheels, and I think they look amazing on these 2500s. Another thing to keep in mind, your typical rear axle ratio standard on this is 3.73, but you can get it upgraded like this particular truck has to the 4.10. And also this truck has your anti-spin differential rear axle. Another upgrade option that this truck has is your heavy duty snow plow prep group. Coming to the rear of the Laramie Night Edition, the non-Night Editions, like I mentioned, will have your chrome bumpers front and rear, but with the Night Edition they will become body colored, which is in my opinion way better. And as you can see at the bottom, like I mentioned, not only do you have your front sensors, but you've got your rear sensors as well. And then you've got your hitch in the center. Above your hitch, you've got your plugs, wiring, and all of that for your towing needs. And on the tailgate, everything is blacked out. You've got your Laramie badge blacked out, the Ram head logo blacked out, and the 4x4 blacked out. As for the rear tail lights, just like the front, they're also LED lights, and these will also have kind of that dark bezeling just like the front ones. Something new that they've added for the 2022 models is right under your tailgate handle, you have this LED strip light. Opening up the tailgate on this Laramie, this particular one does not have your spray and bed liner. However, you can get that directly from the factory or even after. But what this truck does have is your LED bed lining. And of course, you've got your plugs and whatnot in the back of the bed. And this truck also has your optional fifth wheel and gooseneck towing prep group, because you can see those hockey puck looking things right in the bed, so you're already prepped up and ready to go. Also standard with this truck is your rear power sliding window, which is so convenient. And because this truck has the optional towing technology group B package, you're also going to get a center high mount stop lamp with a camera. Entering the rear of the Laramie Night Edition, you can see the door trim is fully blacked out, of course. Starting off at the bottom, you've got a decent amount of room to put, small little items and whatnot. As for the speaker system in this, typically you would have a 9 Alpine speaker system with a subwoofer, which is standard standard, but this has the Laramie Level B equipment group, which is going to give you your 17 speaker high performance system. In the middle of the door trim, you have a little bit more room to put small little items, and then of course you've got your window control, and then up top you kind of have this cloth Alcantara type of a material, and because this is the night edition, you will have tons and tons of black interior accents that you'll see throughout the whole truck. As for the rear seats, you can see this is a fully leather interior, and you've got your bits and pieces of that cloth Alcantara type of a material even on the seats. And like I mentioned, because this truck has the Laramie Level B equipment group, your rear seats are also going to be heated, which is perfect for your rear passengers. Pulling down your center handrest at the rear, this will give you access to 2 cup holders. Also, not only can you lift up these rear seats, of course, but underneath you have this little flat bottom that folds out on both sides, making the space back here so much more user friendly, and you can put literally everything you can in here if you decide not to use your bed or if it's full. And another great thing is there's 2 extra cup holders on the floor as well. But wait, it even gets better. If you don't decide to make this a flat floor, don't worry, you can even lift up the piece that folds out, which will expose it to even more storage underneath. Another thing that this truck has are your rear in-floor storage bins, which again are part of your Laramie Level B equipment group, and these are super convenient to have. Behind the driver and passenger seats, these are fully leather back seats, of course, and you have map pockets for that additional storage at the back. On the rear center console, not only do you have your venting, of course, you've got USB ports, and then of course your buttons for the rear heated seats and a 115 volt plug at the back. Coming to the front of the Laramie Night Edition, you can see the door trim area is exactly like the rear. Of course, you've got space at the bottom with a cup holder section, you've got your speaker, more space in the middle of the door, and then of course your traditional window controls. Like I mentioned, these are your power folding mirrors, so you have that button there as well. You've got more of that black interior accent trim, and you also have your buttons for your memory seating. Now, as for these front seats, they're like the rear seats, of course, fully leather. You also have the Laramie stitched right in, which is nice, and of course the most important, these are very comfortable. Now you'll notice this particular Laramie has the bench seating setup. That's because that is standard. However, you can get either the bench or the bucket seats, and then you'll get the center console if you like. Also standard, your front seats will be heated seats along with vented seats. In terms of the interior color options that you can either get the black on black, which this particular one is, or you can get the very unique looking mountain brown with light frost beige. Also standard with the Laramie, your front seats will be power seats. Underneath, nothing too special, just your foot pedals and your parking brake, and right above that you have your parking brake release. Next to that, you have the power button for the plug that I've shown you in the bed. You can turn it on and off, and then in the center you do have your hood latch release. Moving up above, you do have your lighting controls, of course, fog lights and whatnot, and next to that you have your lighting dimmers. As for the steering wheel, this is a manual adjustable steering wheel, and also standard, and is a very convenient feature, is that you have power adjustable pedals as well. Entering into the Laramie, you'll notice on the dashboard you have this kind of like a soft slash hard leather all across the whole dashboard, and then of course you've got speakers in both corners and in the center there. And like I was mentioning, the 17 speaker system, it's the Harman Kardon system, which is amazing. Now when you go ahead and start up the Laramie, in the center gauge cluster you'll get this nice Laramie animation with the badging. And of course, as for your center gauge cluster area, it's a very typical gauge cluster setup compared to a Ram 1500, 2500 and whatnot. Just like the center screen in the rest of the Ram trucks, you can move things around, have whatever you need to have in front of you. So you have a ton of different options and different things that you can just have in front of you, which is a huge convenience thing. As for the steering wheel, this is a fully leather wrapped steering wheel, and of course it's a heated steering wheel. Now over on the left side of the steering wheel, you'll have controls for your Bluetooth, and then your controls for the center gauge cluster like I've shown you. Over on the right side of the steering wheel, you'll have controls to set up your cruise control settings, and then also your gear limit selector. Behind the steering wheel on the left side, you have controls for your indicators, high beams, windshield wipers, fluid, and all of that. Over on the right side of the steering wheel, not only do you have of course your push button start, but you also have your gear selector knob, along with your other options for 4-wheel high, low, 2-wheel drive. Now when you have the bench seating and you fold down the center seat, it's going to give you access to 3 cup holders along with this nice leather wrapped handrest. Of course, when you go ahead and open up the handrest, you have additional storage within there, so you have actually a decent amount of room to put whatever you need to, and of course you have an USB outlet in there as well. If you look in front of the seat on the floor, you have additional storage pockets, which is not much, but you can still put small little items here and there. However, if you look across the center seat, on the left side you have more USB ports and a aux cable port, and then in the center here you can open this section up and have a ton more storage in there. there. And then of course on the right side you have another 115 volt plug. Moving above that, you have a bunch of controls and buttons here, starting off with these 6 auxiliary port buttons. This is an extra option that this truck also has, otherwise you will not get these. And above that you have your tow haul mode, traction control button, and then your buttons for the front and rear parking sensors, which you can turn on and off. And this truck comes equipped standard with a trailer brake controller. And then you have this beautiful 12-inch touchscreen. Now this again is an upgraded option that this truck has. If you do not get that, then you're only going to be getting the 8.4-inch touchscreen. And I think this looks way better because now this has the new and improved Uconnect 5 software. And there's actually a lot of stuff that you can do on the Uconnect 5 now. As you can see on the home screen, you can either have a split screen, or if you go into My Pages, you can add extra pages and even change the layout of the screen. Going into your media section, this is obviously going to give you access to your AM, FM, Sirius XM, and the Uconnect 5 system now also supports Apple CarPlay and Google Android Auto with wireless connectivity. Over on your comfort screen here, you can access your heating and cooling system, or you can use the actual hard buttons on the side of the screen you see there. But I feel like on the screen it's so much easier. And then also you have access to use your heated seats, vented seats, and your heated steering wheel. Under your navigation button, you've got this massive navigation screen, of course, and this is very crisp and very responsive. Also with the Uconnect 5 now, if you're low on fuel, it'll actually let you know of the gas stations around you, and you can also turn this into a 3D map now. Moving over to your phone tab, also new with the Uconnect 5 system, you can now pair up to 2 phones at the same time. Over on your vehicle tab, under controls, you'll have access to dim your rear view mirror, retract your power side steps, and access your vehicle cameras. Also, you have your off-road stuff at the top, which I'll go into. Like I was mentioning, this vehicle has a ton of different angles when it comes to your camera system. As you can see, you've got your surround camera system, which you can see a ton of different angles of your truck, of course. You've also got your left and your right mirror cameras, because like I mentioned, they have built-in cameras, so it makes parking so easy with this truck. Also, like I mentioned, at the back, you have your camera up top as well for your cargo. And then of course, you have your trailer camera and your auxiliary camera as well. Going over to your off-road section, this truck has what's called your off-road pages, which is a part of your Laramie Level B equipment group. Now, once you click into your off-road pages, you're gonna have different tabs that you can kind of go into and see information about your truck. The first one is your vehicle dynamics. Here, it'll show you your steering angle and whatnot. Next are your accessory gauges. Here, you can see all sorts of different temperature gauges, your battery voltage, and lastly, you can go into your pitch and roll, which of course, if you're on site at a construction site or you decide to take this off-roading, it'll let you know your pitch and roll. Finally, once you go into your apps section, here you can go into a bunch of different things of the truck, of course, and new with the Uconnect 5 system, you now have Alexa built in. Also, the bar that you see up top, you can touch different menus and those will bring out shortcut menus, which is very nice. Above your 12-inch screen, you've got a little bit more space, of course, along with a 12-volt adapter. Up top, not only do you have your typical rear view mirror, it's dimmable, and if you flip that little button at the bottom, it turns into a digital rear view mirror. Now, this is a part of your tow mode digital rear view mirror package, which of course is going to give you a digital mirror, and you're going to get the tow mode upfitted wired camera. Up above, you do have a bunch of different buttons. Of course, you've got your dome lighting, you've got your tailgate release button, assist and SOS, and then your button for the rear power sliding window. As for the key fob, it's a very traditional Ram key fob. You've got your unlock, lock button, tailgate release, remote start, and your panic button. And of course, on the rear of the key fob, you just have your Ram lettering. Coming over to the passenger side, in your glove department, it's a very typical standard size to any Ram. You have a decent amount of room to put whatever you need to. However, if that does get full, you have a secondary storage space up above that, and you can add in a few more things if you like. Closing that up, you do have this nice Laramie badging, and that's pretty much it on the interior. In terms of what can power your Laramie, you have two options. You can either get the 6.4 liter Hemi V8, which this particular truck has, or you can upgrade to the 6.7 liter Cummins Turbo Diesel engine. Now, with this particular 6.4 liter Hemi V8, you're going to be getting 410 horsepower with 429 foot-pound of torque. Now, of course, depending on the different specs that you choose for the Laramie, your maximum towing will vary, but the maximum that this truck can handle in that particular spec that will give you the maximum towing capacity is going to be a little over 17,700 pounds. And here is the window sticker for this 2022 Ram 2500 Laramie Night Edition. Here you can see the typical information, exterior color, interior, engine, and whatnot. Below that, you've got your standard equipment, and then you have your optional equipment. And as you can see, this truck has a ton of optional upgraded options in this. And then you have your pricing at the bottom. Now, this is in Canadian dollars and minus any dealer discounts or manufacturer manufacturing discounts if they are being offered. Well, that does it for this 2022 Ram 2500 Laramie Night Edition. Let me know in the comments down below, do you love this or do you hate it?